In today's video, we will see the events that happened from October 11th to 2017. First, let us see some important national affairs. We will start with a book that was launched recently, and that book is written by the former President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, which is titled The Coalition Years 1996 to 2012. This book was launched in New Delhi, and it is the third book in a series of political memoirs of former President Pranab Mukherjee. The first two books are, first one is The Dramatic Decade, the Indira Gandhi years, and second in the series is The Turbulent Years 1980 to 1996, and the third book is released recently, which has become quite popular, The Coalition Years 1996 to 2012, written by our former President Pranab Mukherjee. We will continue with the books. Recently, one more book was launched. It is written by former Tamil Nadu Governor and present Maharashtra Governor C.H. Vidyasagar Rao, and the book title is Those Eventful Days. This book was launched in Chennai by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, and present Tamil Nadu Governor Banwarilal Purohit and present Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E.K. Palaniswamy attended the event. In this book, C.H. Vidyasagar Rao has described his days as Tamil Nadu Governor, which witnessed a lot of events, including the death of former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, J. Jayalalitha, and the book title is Those Eventful Days. Then we will go to something that happened in Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi, that is the Conference of Governors. The 48th Conference of Governors was held in Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi, and it was presided over by the President Ramnath Kovind. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed the conference, and the focus of this Governors Conference was on New India 2022. India is going to complete 75 years of independence in the year 2022. All the 29 states governors and administrators and lieutenant governors of union territories attended this 48th Conference of Governors held in New Delhi. Then we will see some more events related to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi attended the centenary celebrations of the Patna University in October 2017, and the event was also attended by Bihar Governor Satyapal Malik, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, and other central ministers from Bihar, Ravi Shankar Prasad and Ram Vilas Paswan. And Patna University was established exactly 100 years ago in October 1917. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched the first All India Institute of Ayurveda, which is established on the lines of AIIMS, or All India Institute of Medical Sciences. This All India Institute of Ayurveda was established in New Delhi, and it comes under the Ministry of Ayush. This institute was dedicated to the nation by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on National Ayurveda Day, which falls on October 17th of this year. National Ayurveda Day is celebrated every year on the birthday or the birthday anniversary of Dhanvantari or Dhanvantari Jayanti. Dhanvantari is the Hindu god of Ayurveda, and this year this Dhanvantari Jayanti fell on October 17th. And this All India Institute of Ayurveda is set up by Ayush Ministry. This Ayush Ministry, I will tell the full form of Ayush Ministry. Ayush also, Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. And the minister for this portfolio, Ayush Minister, is Sripad Yesso Nayak, and Sripad Yesso Nayak is the Minister of State with independent charge for this Ayush Ministry. Then one more event related to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is he has attended the birth anniversary celebrations of two great leaders of India, Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan and also Nanaji Deshmukh on October 11th. On this occasion, the Prime Minister also launched a commemorative postage stamp on Nanaji Deshmukh. Nanaji Deshmukh was a great social activist from Maharashtra state. He was a Bharatiya Jansangh leader and he established India's first rural university, which is called as Chitrakoot Gramodaya Vishwavidyalaya, and he was the first chancellor of this Chitrakoot Gramodaya Vishwavidyalaya, which is located in Chitrakoot, which is in Madhya Pradesh. On this occasion, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, also launched a portal called Disha. It is a smart governance tool developed exclusively for the MPs and MLAs for monitoring implementation of different programs and schemes of different ministries in their respective constituencies. Remember this portal, which is called as Disha portal, which is exclusively for MPs and MLAs. And on the same day, the Prime Minister also launched one mobile app, which is called as Gram Samvad. This Gram Samvad mobile app is for common citizens, which allows access to information on the implementation of the rural development schemes at the panchayat level. So, for MPs and MLAs, the portal is Disha, and for common citizens, that mobile app name is Gram Samvad. Then recently Global Hunger Index was released, and this Global Hunger Index is prepared annually by the International Food Policy Research Institute, IFPRI, which is located in Washington DC, America. And as per this 2017 Global Hunger Index is concerned, India is ranked a very low 100 out of 119 countries. And what is more shocking is even North Korea with 93rd rank and Iraq with 78th rank are much ahead of India. So, India is at a very low 100th rank out of 119 countries in this latest Global Hunger Index. And which country is at the bottom of this table? That country is Central African Republic, which is placed 119th, and it is a country in Africa. So, lot of questions can be expected from this topic. Who prepares Global Hunger Index every year? International Food Policy Research Institute, which is based in Washington DC. And what is India's rank? India's rank is a very poor 100 out of 119 countries. Then in Chennai recently, India International Science Festival happened. IISF, India International Science Festival, was held in Anna University, which is in Chennai, and it was inaugurated by the Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Harshavardhan. And the theme of this India International Science Festival is Science for New India. Science for New India. Then during this period, two major military exercises happened. One is Mitra Shakti. Mitra Shakti is India-Sri Lanka joint army exercise or joint military exercise that was held in October 2017 in Aund military station in Pune, Maharashtra. And the focus of this year's Mitra Shakti was on counter-insurgency and also counter-terrorism operations. So, Mitra Shakti is a joint army exercise between which two countries? India and Sri Lanka, which happened in Aund military station in Pune. Then much bigger military exercise happened in Vladivostok, which is in Russia, and that exercise name is Indra. Indra is normally annual army exercise, but what happened this year is the three armed forces, that is Army, Navy and Air Force of these two countries, that is India and Russia, participated in this Indra 2017. And where was this big 3 armed forces exercise held? Your answer must be Vladivostok. Vladivostok is in Russia. Continuing with our defense events, the Defense Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, recently launched one very big ship called INS Kiltan. So, what is this INS Kiltan? INS Kiltan is an indigenously developed anti-submarine corvette. Corvette is nothing but warship. So, INS Kiltan is an indigenously built anti-submarine warship which was commissioned by the Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman at the Eastern Naval Command in Visakhapatnam. So, with the inclusion of this INS Kiltan in India's Navy, India's defense system has been more strengthened. And this event was also attended by India's Navy Chief Admiral Sunil Lamba. So, India's Navy Chief, present Navy Chief is Admiral Sunil Lamba. Then 2 major business events happened during this period. One is the merger of Airtel and Tata Teleservices. India's largest telecom operator, Bharti Airtel, will acquire Tata Teleservices Limited very soon. And it is the consumer mobile business of Tata Teleservices. After the merger, once this merger happens, Bharti Airtel's customer base will go up from 281 million to 321 million customers. That means, presently Airtel has 28 crore customers. So, after the merger of this Tata Teleservices with Airtel, it will go up to 32 crore customers. The present chairman of Bharti Airtel is Sunil Mittal, and present chairman of this total Tata group is N. Chandrasekaran. This is very important. N. Chandrasekaran is the new chairman of total Tata Sons or Tata Group company, which is a very big conglomerate. Another news related to business is, which is also another merger, IndusInd Bank, which is a new generation private bank, it has announced that it will acquire a microfinance company called Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited or BFIL. This Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited was previously called SKS Microfinance. IndusInd Bank is owned by Hinduja brothers, who are very, very rich people based in Britain, and the present MD of this IndusInd Bank is Ramesh Sobti. Then coming to the persons in the news as far as national affairs are concerned, first we will go to Anupam Kher, Bollywood actor Anupam Kher, who has the experience of acting in more than 500 films, has been appointed as the chairman of FTII, Film and Television Institute of India. FTII is in Pune, Maharashtra. Anupam Kher has replaced Gajendra Chauhan as the chairman of this very prestigious Film and Television Institute of India. Anupam Kher is the recipient of both Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan awards. He won many national and international film awards, and he is also the author of a best-selling book called The Best Thing About You Is You. So, Anupam Kher, a film actor, is the author of the book The Best Thing About You Is You. And his wife Kiran Kher is also a very, very famous film actress, and she is currently Lok Sabha member, elected on BJP party ticket. Film and Television Institute of India, FTII, is an autonomous body which functions under the INB Ministry, Information and Broadcasting Ministry, and the present INB Minister is Smriti Irani. She is also the Textiles Minister. Smriti Irani is in the news recently for another reason, because she was re-elected as Rajya Sabha member from Gujarat state. And you also note down a point that BJP President Amit Shah also made his debut in Rajya Sabha recently. He was also elected as Rajya Sabha member from Gujarat state. There is a woman called Nisha Desai Biswal. Nisha Desai Biswal is an Indian American woman. In Barack Obama's cabinet, she served as the Assistant Secretary of State, and she is in the news recently once again because she has been elected as the President of the USIBC, United States India Business Council. So, the present chairperson of United States India Business Council is former US Assistant Secretary of State Nisha Desai Biswal, who is an Indian American woman. Then India's Solicitor General Ranjit Kumar resigned from his post, citing personal reasons. Solicitor General is the second highest law officer of India. So, the present Solicitor General Ranjit Kumar resigned, and new Solicitor General will be appointed very soon. Then who is the top law officer of India? The top law officer of India is Attorney General, and the present Attorney General is K.K. Venugopal. Then finally, we will discuss some national awards which were announced in this period of October 11th to October 20th. Among them, a prestigious award is Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration. It is a very prestigious award. This Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration for the year 2015-16 was announced to an eminent Carnatic musician T.M. Krishna from Chennai. Remember, T.M. Krishna last year, that is in 2016, won the Raman Magsaysay Award also. And for 2015-16, he is announced as the winner of this Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration. This very prestigious Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration is given every year on October 31st. October 31st is the death anniversary of former Indian Prime Minister, late Indira Gandhi. And this award was established by the Congress Party in the year 1985 on the centenary of this old party, Indian National Congress. Remember, Indian National Congress was established in 1885 by Alan Octavian Hume, and the first INC session was held from December 28th to 31st, 1885 in Bombay, and the first session of this INC was presided over by Umesh Chandra Banerjee or W.C. Banerjee. Then there is one very prestigious award which was started by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi only this year. Actually, he announced this award last year, but presented this Prime Minister's Award for Outstanding Contribution to Promotion and Development Yoga, promotion and development of yoga. It was announced on this year's International Yoga Day on June 21st, but presented by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on National Ayurveda Day on October 17th. And the winner of this very prestigious Prime Minister's Yoga Award, the inaugural winner, is an institute called Ramamani Iyengar Memorial Yoga Institute, which is based in Pune. So, Ramamani Iyengar Memorial Yoga Institute based in Pune is the inaugural winner of Prime Minister's Award for Yoga. So, these are the latest news about national affairs.